Today is day one of building the surf bod. This awkward, like, is it? It's so interesting. Like, I'm a surfer, and look at that movement right there. Is that even a surf move? It'd be cool if I could surf like this, but no, I don't think that's even a surf move. That's just an awkward moment. Please go back and watch that because that was authentically awkward. You got to see me being awkward, and that's not something that happens too often to me. Oh, that's great, but you gotta laugh at yourself. So today is day one of building the surf bod. So I've hired a coach to guide me and create this. Man, I am so excited. Yesterday we went to a gym and he gave me a breakdown of the exact program. He's showing me all the different exercises that I'm doing and why I'm doing this exercise, because this helps with this part of the surfing, this will help with this part of your surfing, this will help. So just to give you a breakdown, like this exercise will help you with paddling, this exercise will help you with building up so you can pop up stronger, this exercise, like doing this ball movement, will help you with your turns on the surfboard. Like, so cool. This is what pros do, is they take their sport, but then they supplement their workouts around the sport so that they can just be stronger. And so it's so awesome because the last surf session, I had an epic wave, the best wave that I've had in Bali yet. And so great to have after not surfing for so long. That was a big wave, but I can feel my arms out there. I'm just like a little baby sea turtle. I'm like trying to like get into these waves, and these waves are just pushing me, and I've got no strength, and I'm like having to be like closing my eyes and trying to get not caught in the waves. I'm like this little sea turtle. So what I'm doing is building my my surfing so I can be a dolphin out there, and I can just cruise through these waves and have strength in the body. And so I'm transitioning my body right now. And so one of the priorities I said to my coach is, I said, I want to build a surf body. I want to build a body that's that I can surf with. But another thing, a key component that I wanted to add into my training is I want to start training for my 40s. You see? I want to start training for my 50s. I want to start training for my 60s. You with me? You following me? I'm not just training to get the shoulders and the biceps and the body. Although I just came from that, it's like, you know, that requires a lot of energy, and it's a certain way of being, you know, to lift the weights like that all the time. So I'm talking to these masters, these fitness masters, you know, these guys that have been in the fitness industry for, like, let's say 15 to 20 years. You know, some of them have evolved and some of them haven't, but I'm talking to the evolved fitness people. And one of the things that there's a parallel that I found between them is that they're over it. They don't want to bodybuild anymore. They've elevated past the body. They're more so in the deeper work. They're into this, but doing this in the gym. So what I found by building my last body was that I was developing a harder, faster, stronger mentality, because I needed to in order to put that size on my body. But now that I have this somewhat more size in my body, I want to be like endurance. I want to build like endurance in my body. I want to be able to be like, have a strong but yoga body, but not so much focused on the size. Well, still maybe having a bit of size happen, but not be the primary focus. So the last 6 months to 8 months, that's been my primary focus. Put on size and maintain flexibility. So I did German volume training. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing pretty much all body weight calisthenics, and then supplementing that with going out and surfing, so that, like, I call it like the ready, well, it's termed from Kelly Starrett, but it's called the ready state. And I want to be like, have that ready body, you know, where I can jump in and be flexible and go into a yoga class and feel really good, but then also go into waves and have endurance, but then have like a really fit body. And so that's the body that I'm working towards right now. And I just had my first session today, and I can feel all these like movements, and my mind is unlocking. because I can feel like I did this exercise where I grab the ball and I shoot it against the wall and catch it and then shoot it against the wall. And I'm like, that is going to help with my turns. And what's great about this is that I'm building this body, but I'll be strong out into the waves. So now when I go do these movements and these actions on the board, it's like out of nowhere, it won't be out of nowhere because I'm training my body, but kind of out of nowhere, I'll be able to do this epic move on the wave, and my body will help do it because it's strong. And so I'm doing all this like wrist warm-ups and wrist work. I'm doing all this like push-up stuff to help out my shoulders, building and opening my shoulders. Like I did these open shoulder opener stuff, and they call it your QL. You're building your QL muscles down there, and it's all like these inner ligaments and muscle fibers and all this stuff. And so what's really nice is I'm filming, then I'm going through a pre-program. So basically what I did is I outsourced my thought to my coach. So what do I mean by that? I mean, I put what I want in his brain, and he goes into his mind with all his experience, and he's going, okay, you're going to need to do this, you're going to need to do this, you're going to need to do this, you're going to need to do this. And I give him this. I was like, I want to be working out 3 times a week, and I want the workouts to be really effective. And then I want an optional 4th day. And because I only want to work out 3 to 4 times a week, because I'm also going to be surfing. But what I also want to do is now add in some, in my program, there's not much flexibility stuff, so I'm going to ask him some stuff to do with stretching as well. Like what do you think like some supplement work is for stretching? So like yesterday I asked him for some wrist warm-up stuff. He just added that in there. And this is the power of investing in a coach. If you're after some sort of goal, if you are around the right person, right? You here's the thing. I'll give you my lens of discernment. Here's what you do when you're looking for a coach in any field. You have to ask yourself, who do I listen to? Which person is the right person to listen to? And who you listen to is someone that has what you want and have been where you were. So the key trick to this is outsourcing your thought to someone that has got the result that you want. Well, if I was to show you the picture, or you guys would go check out my coach's body, you're probably gonna be like, damn, that guy is strong. But you know what's interesting is that I've been having conversations with him, and he's been more after this in parts of himself. He's at a stage of himself that he's going deeper into this part of himself. And I've been talking to him, and I've been asking him questions just, throughout developing our relationship. And for about the last 4 months, I've been kind of doing my old program, but just being really lost in the gym. And now that I have a program, I've got the app. I use this app called True Coach, and I put all my videos, I put all the specs in there, I put everything into that app. It's all streamlined, it tracks all my workouts. It's epic. I'm so stoked on it. I'm so stoked on the direction. And so today's day 1. And so now I'm capturing day 1's first workout, and I'm excited. I've lost a bit of size, and I probably put on a bit of fat since July, since basically Corona. I've been sick like four times, or like 2 burnouts, 2 sick since Corona. And so I've been like just getting my energy back, but now I'm preparing my body for my 40s and my 50s and my 60s and my 70s, and thinking long term with my body. So if we just think from our ego, or move from our ego, and we think, okay, well, maybe you're a young guy or a young woman. I mean, I feel that women don't even go like this, but if you're a young man, you're probably gonna want to put on size, you're probably gonna want to work the muscles, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a place for all of this. But how sustainable is that for your vital energy? How sustainable is that for your long-term body? Like just cranking out similar range motion movements without adding any other dynamic movements to your shoulders. You know, if you're just doing this movement, you're just building one area, which you're leaving out all these weaknesses in all these ranges. And so what I want to do is like, I want to be like fluid in my body. I want to be able to move in my body. I want to be able to sit in any position. I want to be able basically to model a kid. I want to be able to move like a kid, you know? But you know what's interesting? I'm like, you know, I'm in my 30s right now, and I've got more range and movement more than ever, you know, other than when I just went straight yoga. But I also didn't have much strength when I just straight yoga. And you know what's crazy? I've been doing these push-ups today, and I realized I am so weak. I'm so weak while I do these push-ups right now because I'm doing all this body work that I've not done. I can feel all these like weird like I'm sore in some spots that I've just not been sore before. And I'm opening up my body, which just feels really good. So I want to get really like calisthenically strong, and just that ready state, you know, just ready to go for a run if I got to. Like for example, last weekend going to the trampoline park, jumping on trampolines, going snorkeling, going out surfing, hitting the bike if I got to hit a bike, lift weights if it's there, but it's not really going to be my focus anymore. But prepping the body for my 40s. So then watch this, if you're still listening, but watch this. Now you enter your 40s and you've basically decreased, like we basically have a vat of energy, right, as we age, but basically you prolong the aging process, because what you're doing is you're prepping for that aging process to happen. So that's the joy of being a human being, is we can anticipate things in future moments. So what you do now is you make decisions now for when those things happen. So watch this, follow me on this one. So now come with me in your mind for a second. We're now in our 40s, right? Let's say you're my age or a little bit younger. We're now in our 40s. And I've been prepping for this moment at 45. I've been prepping my body for 45. How many people are prepping their body for their 40s? They're doing the exact opposite. They're eating all this bad food. They're not exercising. They're drinking. They're doing all this. So by the time they get to 40, the manifestations of their choices, they got a hurt back, they got a beer belly. Like, look, just go to society. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying this is how I came to this realization. But just go into society. Look at your parents. You know, this was a big piece of wisdom one of my internet mentors gave me. He said, how many people here are in the crowd 25 or younger? Everyone raise their hand. Okay. How many 40-year-olds would you be down to trade your life right now for theirs? Raise your hand. Not many people raise their hand. And he said this because most people, once they get to a certain age, their life just really goes downhill. And so this is what I've been doing, and with my girlfriend as well, is we're trying to make the best choices we can, set ourselves up, enjoy the moment as it is right now. Like, it's not that all these things we're doing and we're not enjoying the moment. Like, I just told you, I love working out like this. I just went for a surf. It's great. I love the body that I'm creating for myself. But I also want to set myself up for when I'm in my 40s. So now we're both 45, 46, maybe a little different age. But I'm running with your kids. I'm just kidding. Maybe you'll start thinking like this. This is what I'm help provoking, is different thought. But maybe I'm running with your kids. You can't keep up to us because of your choices, because of all the food you're eating, all the drinks you're drinking, all the poor choices, all the stress that you've created, the life that you've designed for yourself. It's like, okay, go play with Uncle Matt. Yeah, just go play with Uncle Matt. Like, he'll take care of you. And now I'm running, I'm playing bear crawls with the kids, I'm going out swimming, and I still got energy. I'm still doing all this, but I still got vital energy. That's because I'm investing in it. I'm constantly depositing in it. So what I'd like to leave you with is, think about your choices right now. Think about, are you thinking long term? Maybe your brain hasn't developed like this yet. Mine brain didn't until I got sober. And maybe you're a younger person watching this and you haven't thought in this way, but it's gonna happen. You're gonna be, hopefully you make it there, right? Like hopefully I make it there, but at least I wanna set my life up for that's gonna happen. Or maybe it won't, but at least I'll set my life up for it to happen. And then when I get there, I get to reap the rewards. So keep this in mind. Where I am right now is from the choices I made back then. And guess what? The choices I made have been great. And a lot of bad choices, but I've learned from those as well. But a lot of great choices. And all these great choices are starting to compound. And now, I'm creating things that I want to create. Like this agency, going and having a surf, living in Bali. This is all by design. Because I'm making these choices and thinking about what do I want down the line? What do I want 3 years from now? What do I want 5 years from now? How do I want my life to be? What kind of legacy do I want to live? Even though I'm not that attached to legacy. You see some of these driven, motivated guys, they're very attached to their legacy and what they got to leave behind and their mission and all these things. But, most of them don't get to enjoy their legacy until they're gone. So who cares? Like, who cares? And this is actually probably more closer to the way of this guy. It's like, I don't know, for me, I'm here to enjoy it. I don't really need, if I leave a legacy, great, but it's not the purpose. For me, personally, I'm just here to enjoy it. And if it happens, great. And if it doesn't, I don't need a street to be named after me. I don't need a building to be named after me. I don't need a statue made of me. Quite frankly, save the concrete. Build a home for someone that needs it, as opposed to doing this stuff. Kind of got a little philosophical from my first workout, but it's not really off topic because these are the things I'm thinking about while working out now. These are the things I'm considering. And how can I set my body up for my 40s, for my 50s, and my 60s, and my 70s, and just onwards. And I'd like you, if you're curious, to invite that in for yourself today too as well. So I'll keep you posted on the workout journey. Today was day 1, and have a wonderful day. Hopefully see you at 45.